It's right now, Sleaze with Fram.
Netflix is releasing a trailer for the Sylvester Stallone doc. It's about the life of Sly Stone. The documentary provides an intimate look at Stallone's triumphs, struggles, kind of drawing parallels with the indelible character he's played over the years, of course, with Rocky. More than 50 years. Listen to this. This looks really good, by the way.
Looks solid.
I had given up on acting. I was done.
He wasn't cast in things because he was deemed uncastable.
The rejection was my encouragement. At that point, I knew my fate was determined on the pen.
The genius behind that. This was not an accident.
This is the theater where Rocky premiered. My brother goes, this could be the best day or the worst day of your life. Something happened, something magical.
You could hear the cheers from the inside, outside on the street from the theater. When Stallone became famous, he wasn't expecting the downside.
When you're a truly absorbed filmmaker, you put things before your family, and the repercussions are quite devastating. Now I realize that's all that matters. I lost everything. Could I actually go back and start over again? Not without family.
That looks good.
November 3rd on Netflix. He's also now mourning the death of his co-star, Burt Young, that played Paulie in the movies. Yeah, he died at the age of 83, his daughter confirmed to the New York Times. He was best known, of course, for Paulie in the Rocky movies, but did you see him in some of the other movies that he was in?
Oh, he was a big-time character actor. He was in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he played Rodney Dangerfield's chauffeur in Back to School, which I had forgotten about. He was also in Once Upon a Time in America, The Pope of Greenwich Village, and Chinatown. Unbelievable. Rest in peace, Paulie. But yeah, that show looks really good. Barnes, everyone is putting out a memoir these days. It's pretty unbelievable, but the biggest one that I feel like everyone is talking about is the new one from Britney Spears, of course, claiming that now Justin Timberlake cheated on her with someone famous. Now everyone's trying to figure out, who was it?
Yeah, she's dropping like a nugget a day. Getting up
a nugget a day, yes.
Book.
She did release, though, a few seconds of the opening of the book that she's reading.
Reliving everything that you're about to hear has been exciting, heart-wrenching, and emotional.
And that's it.
That's why, by the way, you wanted to know why she wasn't voicing the audiobook, and it's Michelle Williams.
Yeah.
Now you know why.
Now we know.
Yeah. Here's another one. In his new memoir, John Stamos reveals that he was molested by a female babysitter when he was 10 or 11. That's awful. She was 18 or 19. He also talks about how he held on to his hatred for his ex-wife, Rebecca Romaine, way too long. And these memoirs come out, you better hold tight. You have no idea what people are about to say.
That's the new thing, though. That's the new how you get hype, is you dig up that one little secret nugget that you know you're going to take a hit for it with the people,
yes.
and you sell some books.
I have a new couple alert for you, Barnes.
Ooh.
Sophia Bush, from One Tree Hill, is now dating U.S. women's soccer star Ashlyn Harris.
Ooh.
Her ex-husband, Grant Hughes, says Grant will always want the best for Sophia. He is supportive of all that makes her happy and fulfilled.
I did an episode of One Tree Hill and worked with her. She wasn't the most friendly.
Really?
Yeah, she was one of those, goes off and into the woods and sits by herself.
Did you know my friend Jana Kramer back then?
I don't.
She was in One Tree Hill.
I only did one episode.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you knew her or not.
Nope.
So did any of your, I know you're religiously watching a few shows. Any of your TV viewing get interrupted last night with the president?
Funny you should ask. It did, but
what?
I really didn't notice because I was watching Golden Bachelor. So I really felt like it was just the same thing. But no, the TV dire straits that we're in right now the breakdowns in the SAG negotiations are so troubling. SAG keeps going back. They wanted, 10% of streaming, and then they went to 1%, and the producers still balked at it. And then they went back and tried to get per subscriber. They wanted to get $1, and then they went to 57 cents, I think, and they're rejecting everything. So I don't know when we will get back to TV.
If you would just listen to my recommendations.
What?
I just finished the 3rd season of Lupin. It's so good.
Fram, don't talk to me about the past. We're in danger zone of TV. We're going to have nothing for a long time.
I'm telling you, that just dropped and I just finished it.
I fell off on Lupin the first season.
Lupin is so good. In other celebrity sleaze stories, Travis Kelce has snapped up a $6 million mansion in Kansas City.
Hello? Who told you that 3 days ago?
Yeah, he wants more privacy.
I told you he was out shopping with her.
Yeah, it's got a little mini golf course, a swimming pool, a waterfall. Yeah, $6 million, just like that. Will Smith speaking out on his relationship with his estranged wife and quote-unquote best friend, Jada Pinkett Smith. Yeah, he was appearing at her Worthy book tour event in Baltimore. He said he wanted to come and, quote, hold it down for you the way you have held it down for me. He described their relationship as a very long and tumultuous over the last 30 years. He called it, I actually really like this word, brutiful.
Brutiful.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to sympathize when he's putting jokes on Instagram about it.
He said it was brutal and beautiful at the same time. But he goes on and on about her. This is just one quote. As I stand here before you today, I am happier than I've ever been in my entire life. I've achieved every single thing I've ever wanted in my entire life. There is not one thing left that I desire in this world. All of the awards, all of the money, the family, everything I've ever demanded. And he does credit her, saying his dreams were largely built on the foundation of Jada's sacrifices.
He put some clickbait out, what I'm referring to with Instagram, that has a very serious look on his face on the play button to start the video about and it's his official statement. And it's a little funny video about, flying through the earth, basically. He goes, I have something to say, and then it goes into like this globe, like he's floating around the entire universe.
Well, the fact that he's going with her, or he has shown up at her book tour, they're getting back together. Adele is revealing that she quit drinking 3 months ago, joking with fans at her Vegas residency. Enjoy your whiskey. I'm very, very jealous. I stopped drinking maybe like 3.5 months ago, she said. She said, it's kind of boring, but she did. She quit drinking alcohol. She apparently is like trying to be very healthy now, Barnes. I was literally borderline alcoholic for quite a lot of my 20s.
More and more people are doing that. People that I know are doing that. I've tried it 5 or 6 times in the last few months. And then Friday comes around and it doesn't work that long. But people who do it and keep it consistently out of their life, they sleep better, they feel better.
They look better.
Yeah. It's just, it's hard to, it's just one of those things when you're exhausted or you've worked too much, whatever, and you're like, oh, that drink looks attractive. What can you replace it with?
Spritzer.
Okay, spritzer.
Hey, you want to meet Kelsey Grammer? You can at one bar where everyone knows your name. I guess after watching him, sitting at a bar and Cheers, now he wants you to meet him. 16 Stone Pub Brew in Utica will be transformed into Moe's Tavern from The Simpsons. And Kelsey's going to pop by, going to make drinks, and you can meet him. I love when celebrities do that. We mentioned this earlier, and we talked about Natalie Holloway, one of the biggest stories of our generation, coming to a close with the admission from Joran Vandersloot that he murdered her.
I mean, they've so many times gone to him and he's lied. So, we're assuming this is all true now. I guess we all of a sudden believe a lifetime liar. But you're right, it's gruesome.
Well, there was an interview conducted by his attorney, and I will say, and we want to play it for you, that a little bit of a warning because he goes into detail. But for me, I feel like, and Barnes, you as a parent of daughters, this is really important to hear. But I guess my question for you, does this put closure for the family knowing that she did die, even though murdered, and that maybe she wasn't sold into sex slavery? I know all of it is messy and heartbreaking and tragic, but I just feel for the family.
Yeah, I think they knew, obviously, that she was not alive, and she seems, the mom, by the way she's commenting, that it does bring closure. I would have a hard time trusting a liar, like I was talking about, like this guy, and the lowest scum of the earth. But your point about it being important to listen to, as a dad of a 21 and an 18-year-old, it is something that I want them to listen to also, to know that this type of evil is out there. And to know that these aren't just like stories in a book that never happen in real life. I mean, hearing his words, which you're about to hear, describe what he did to that poor girl and to that family is just, just take a minute with yourself and get into this audio and just take it in to this. And the way he says it is just disturbing.
It's really disturbing. And as you mentioned, Beth Holloway has said, as far as I'm concerned, it's over. Joran Vandersloot is no longer the suspect in my daughter's murder. He is the killer.
So this is official court audio. Again, this is, if you can't handle this type of thing, I would turn away for a minute and a half. But I think it is valuable to hear and just know that this story is put to rest.
Where I lay her down, we lay down together in the sand. And we start kissing each other. I get her to kiss me again. We start kissing each other. And I start feeling her up again. And she tells me no. She tells me she doesn't want me to feel her up. I insist. I keep feeling her up either way. And she knees me. She ends up kneeing me in the crotch. When she knees me in the crotch, I get up on the beach and I kick her extremely hard in the face. She's laying down unconscious, possibly even dead, but definitely unconscious. And I see right next to her there's a huge cinder block laying on the beach.
When you say cinder block, looking at the walls of this place, is it like those?
The exact same cinder blocks. I see a huge cinder block laying on the beach. I take this and I smash her head in with it completely. Her face basically, collapses in. Even though it's dark, I can see her face is collapsed in. Afterwards, I don't exactly know what. I'm scared. I don't know what to do, and I decide to take her and to put her into the ocean. So I grab her and I half pull and half walk with her into the ocean. I push her off. I walk up to about my knees into the ocean, and I push her off into the sea.
The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie, 99X.